Porzingis back to Ntilikina. Fakes the three. Looks. Alley-oop to Porzingis! Perfect timing!
You win tonight, man. What you think of this game?
Resounding win. Good play from everybody all around. It was a statement game, in my opinion, in terms of just putting the foot on the neck of that team when they had to after a bad start, down 10-0. So great game by Knicks.
Yeah. They definitely started out slow. Like you said, Kings started out with a 10-0 run, but I mean, once you look at that Kings team, you really see that they're really not that good of a team. I mean, this was a game that the Knicks should have handled from the jump, but they came into the game down 10-0, got their legs under them, and pretty much never looked back.
Yeah, I mean, what can I say? They played really well right after that being down 10-0. They responded really quickly. Porzingis leading the way with a couple early three-pointers, went 4 for 6 from three-point land. I mean, what can I say? Jarrett Jack, man. The steady play from Jarrett Jack has really been a boon to this team in terms of the leadership from the point guard position, and not only the leadership but the play. Even though he played 25 minutes, he was 2 for 3 from the field, 5 points, but he was plus 17. He had 6 dimes, 2 rebounds rather, plus 17 on the court. I mean, really love what I see from Jarrett Jack as in terms of running the offense.
Yo, Jarrett Jack is balling, man. I mean, I was one that laughed when we first picked him up. You know, it seemed like such a scrap heap pickup because, you know, he's well past his prime, but, you know, surprising start. He's really pacing his team. Him and KP have that chemistry going. And, you know, when Noah comes back, you know, obviously Jack is the only one with the non-guaranteed contract, but he seems like really the last option in terms of roster moves. I think Sessions and Cheese might be neck and neck for being the odd man out.
Yeah, I mean, at 34 years old, definitely surprised, but the kid has definitely demonstrated that he's got a lot left in the tank. He's been a steady professional at the helm. There's going to be a big decision that has to be made within management. It looks like the easy out, in my opinion, is Ramon Sessions.
But see, people say Sessions, but then when you look at Jack's injury history, you keep Sessions just as some sort of insurance option as that next vet point guard in the event Jack goes down and you don't want to expose Frank, you know, throw him in the fire, so to speak.
Well, I'm sure when we buy out Ramon Sessions and we do need Jarrett Jack, Jarrett Jack goes down, God forbid, I'm pretty sure Ramon Sessions is still going to be on the waiver wire. I think Ramon Sessions is the obvious cut. Yes, there's a possibility of Jarrett Jack going down and Frank Ntilikina having to take the reins, but at the end of the day, why not at this point? I would like to see him get an increased minutes. I think he can play a starter's role. We can get some play out of the $9 million man, Ron Baker. I mean, you know, in agreements with you, I think that's definitely a possibility, but I think it's time. You don't cut Kuz. Kuz is 27 years old. He's a combo guard. I think you can trade him instead of just cutting him.
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to see what Cheese is. I always call him Cheese, but I like to see what his ceiling is going to be in the NBA. I think he's just scratched the surface. He can shoot the 3-ball well. You know, we've seen what he can do in the Euro game. He's a very good player in the Euro game, but I like to see how that translates at the NBA level. I still think he could be a serviceable piece off the bench and a piece in this rotation. You know, it's just sometimes you can't help what you get back in a trade, and I think with the Melo trade, you know, with management having to get the best deal they could, you know, they brought in 2 guys that kind of added to the depth of this team rather than address specific needs. But you know, you can't argue with the play of obviously Enes Kanter and especially Doug McDermott at the 3. So you're seeing why guys like Cheese, guys like Hernan Gomez just aren't getting the minutes.
Yeah, absolutely. The coaches obviously realize that this team has the capability to win more games than assumed. You're going to try to put your best foot forward, and I wholeheartedly agree with them. There's only 48 minutes in the game that he can give out, and those minutes seem to be occupied at this moment in time. God forbid injuries befell this team that we have to change the rotation, but for the first time in a long time, this New York team roster has been consistent, and I think that has a lot to do with the number one, the coaching and the direction where this coach wants to go, without the GM looming with their own prerogative and plans in terms of offensive and defensive schemes. You got to roll what you got to roll, and I mean, this again, I don't have a crystal ball, but I think Ramon Sessions is the obvious choice. But you know, management has a tough job ahead of them come Monday when Noah comes off the suspension list.
Let's get into the 3 stars of the night. A lot of contributors in this blowout win against the Kings. Number 3, I gotta go with Enes Kanter. 17 points, 13 rebounds, plus 19 for the game. Hey man, every night this guy brings it, man, and he's a double machine. What you think about him tonight?
Big turkey. I mean, I can't be mad at him at number 3 star of the game right now. Plus 19 in the box score. 17 points, 13 rebounds, 8 for 13 from the field. What can I say? It's Big Turkey going to work. Displays amazing footwork out there. He's got a knack for the basketball. Great offensive rebounder. He gets it. You wish he could obviously pick it up a little bit more at the defensive end at times, but he had a great game tonight, and he well deserved.
Well deserved. Number 2, gotta give it to Courtney Lee, man. 20 points, 3 boards. I believe he was 5 for 6 from 3-point land.
Yeah, Courtney Lee was definitely a star of this game, breaking out for 20 points for not a career high, but a season high rather, plus 20 at the 3 position, 5 for 6. He was obviously taking over out there. 7 for 9 from the field overall in 30 minutes, 20 points. Can't be mad at Courtney Lee.
I mean, what can you say? I mean, he's been the best investment over these last 2 years that we've had. Certainly earned his contract. He comes in, he brings that energy every night. You can never question his hustle. You can never question his energy out there, and he brings that leadership mentality. And you can tell that guys, they flock to him, and he's really providing that leadership on and off the court, knocking down those open jumpers. So salute to Courtney Lee, man. He's been a real good Knick these last 2 years.
For sure, solid player, great professional, tons of leadership ability. Really glad that he has not been a casualty of a trade. I hope he sticks along with the Knicks for a long time.
And number 1, surprise, KP, the unicorn, KP6 Porzingis, 34 points, 5 rebounds, plus 31 on the night. I mean, you knew the Kings had no answer for him. They had nobody to guard him. I wouldn't have been surprised if he dropped 50 on him tonight. I mean, KP was just unstoppable, man.
Again, this is just another stamp on the league to put him on notice, because KP is an absolute beast. I was a little concerned coming into this game, obviously being out last game against Orlando with the injuries concerns and the surgery concerns that we heard about in the past few days. Things like this happen, and hopefully this looks like an injury that he can put past him and save until the end of the season. But KP's a damn monster. 11 for 21 from the field in 27 minutes. He started the game hitting a couple big 3-pointers to get the Knicks back on track after being down 10-0 rather. 4 for 6 from 3-point land. We'll catch a one-handed alley-oops from Frank, still building the chemistry from the rook. Kristaps Porzingis is an obvious MVP candidate at this point. He's going to be an all-star. To think that he cannot keep this up over the next few games, rather the duration of the season, would be absurd. This kid is ready to ball. He's intact, and he's showing the league on why he was drafted so high and praised so high coming out of Latvia.
Chill. This kid is balling out of control, man. I mean, every game he's breaking out a new move that I haven't seen from him. He brought out the hook shot, the one-handed dunk. Yeah, he's all over the map, man. KP's really pacing this team, man.
Whew. I mean, the footwork, the contact on the plays. I mean, Willie Cauley-Stein he's a pretty stout defender. He's active. He's got his long arms. He'll get in your face. He kind of bothered KP a little bit earlier. He couldn't stop him. Then they threw Zebo at him. Zebo with the strength, and KP was just duping him all over the place. Even on the defensive side, when he slapped the ball countless number of times out of Zach Randolph's hands cleanly, after some complaints from Zebo. But the kid's a unicorn. Porzingis, shout out to you, man. He's improved his game so much. What a huge stride in his 3rd season in the league. He's obvious joy to watch. He's the big ticket in town. He's leading this team 7-5. Can't be happier for that kid.
Yeah, there's no doubt, man. Let's take a look at the rest of the box score, man. Damian Dotson, 14 points, 14 minutes. Yeah, he came in trash time, but I keep liking what I see out this kid, man. He's bringing that toughness. He's playing hard. He understands he's got to show that hunger. Shots is there, 2 for 3 from three-point land, and defense was there. What'd you think of Dotson tonight?
I mean, Dotson comes out every game playing. Jumper with a jump shot, yeah. I mean, like I said, he's just he's like a rich man person, a Iman Shumpert, if that makes sense. Again, Knicks Nation, which I'm sure y'all understand. But the kid's strong. He could be a good 3 and D player in this league for a long time, and I hope he can. I guess this goes back to that conversation where can we give the guy more minutes? He just has to take advantage when he gets it, and he obviously has done so.
Nah, man. Doug McBuckets again plus 14 on the night, only 8 points, but he brings it. I like that chemistry between him and KO, man. Whenever they come in off with the second unit, they always seem to have that chemistry going. Those drives to the baskets, those easy kickouts. I like that chemistry between Doug and Kyle O'Quinn.
Yeah, I've been meaning to post some of the highlights between. It's because it always seems like when they first get in the game, KO's throwing Doug McBuckets some type of backdoor pass and scoring on an easy 2. The chemistry between them is obvious. Doug is beginning to carve out a niche for himself in terms of what he brings off the bench alongside Kyle O'Quinn. That's a man out there. I like to see. I'm like what I'm seeing from the kid.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, another stat that's got to stick out to you. Another night with 52% shooting from the field. According to Breen, that was the 5th straight game doing that, the first time since '96. So something is clicking with this team, man, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they like each other. I think Courtney Lee echoed that sentiment during his post-game interview with MSG. They really like each other. I mean, what'd they have total in assists? 29 dimes, 40 rebounds, but 29 dimes. Unheard of. This is a team that really likes each other. Not to bash on Carmelo Anthony, but you don't have a player who's going to stop the ball. The ball is continuously moving, and that's been a question that Clyde Frazier, if you guys watch the MSG broadcast, has always asked about Knicks teams. Why does the ball have to stop? It needs to continue moving, especially in this day and age. And they're beginning to prove out there that they can ball. They're not a lottery team. They seem to be a lock for the playoffs if they continue keeping it up this way. So really proud of this team and what they've displayed so far.
You can't fault them for winning, man. They're playing together. They're playing well. They're playing for each other. All right, so we got LeBron and them coming into town Monday night, man. Cavs coming in at 5 and 7. They're gonna look for some revenge, man. We came into their building and embarrassed them earlier this year. What do you think about that game? It should be a pretty good game at the Garden on Monday night.
Absolutely should be a very good game. Cleveland seems to be a little tattered coming into this game. We did have a huge win. Had a huge win at the Q earlier in the season that I'm sure is still fresh on their minds. But at the end of the day, they're coming into our house. And the way that the teams played, they're going to defend our house. And we rightfully need to do so. So I think we should take this win. I don't think Cleveland is all of a sudden going to turn it around. They obviously have some internal issues that they have to deal with. And the Knicks are on a roll. And I look forward to them continuing it against a Cleveland team. The East is wide open. And especially with Cleveland displaying this fact that they can't get it together in over 11 games, I would be surprised to see where this team falls at the end of the year. But again, it is Cleveland. It is still LeBron James. They're the defending Eastern Conference champions. I'm not going to sell them short. But if the Knicks play hard, especially on the defensive end, which they've proved capable of, then this will be a good win for us.
I agree, man. Certainly a winnable game. Knicks Nation, let us know what you thought about this game tonight. This blowout win against the Kings. Let us know also on the Noah situation, man. Who would you want to see leave? And how do you think this Noah situation is going to play out? So Knicks Nation, as usual, hit the comment section below. Let us know what you thought about this blowout win against the Kings tonight. As usual, get involved. Subscribe to the channel. Like these videos if you like it. Share it with a fellow Knicks fan. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, at KnicksFanTV. We're always there. We're always interacting with the fans. This is our community, man. So stay involved. Until next time. Peace.
Peace.
Dennis Smith tonight.
The Knicks passed on a really good one. And Dallas got the diamond in the rough. He should be a Knick. It's going to make some headlines, but he should be a Knick. But Dallas is definitely, I know they're excited that he didn't go there. So he's an unbelievable talent, athleticism.